Well, several News West 9 employees will now be seeking therapy. This after our 6 o'clock producer announced he will no longer be working with us. Paul Terrell has been working at the station for a while and he will sorely be missed. News West 9's Jolena Okazaki has more on how Terrell's impact behind the scenes was never taken for granted.
Girl.
Claudia Sangalo is binge eating. She's never done this before, but she's been eating nonstop for about 2 weeks straight.
Damn, Paul.
All because she found out our 6 o'clock producer, Paul Terrell, is leaving News West 9 forever.
I told Paul, don't leave this place until after February. When February's done, you can leave, but until then, I need for you to stay here and continue to produce the 6 o'clock show and be the person that we all go to.
And like many News West 9 employees, many will have to go to therapy.
We are going to be the ones suffering without him. I don't know. I don't even want to think. I've been wearing black all week.
I'm not. I'm going to cry for like weeks, I think.
It's going to be a huge loss.
I'm really, really sad.
I had a little bit of a tear.
It's going to be really hard.
Paul began working at News West 9 almost 2 years ago, starting in Master Control and working his way up as 5 o'clock producer and eventually the 6.
There's this great endearing quality that he has that he'll run through whatever brick wall if you just ask him for help. It's a quality we're going to miss.
Knowing other people's jobs and being able to troubleshoot for them. Being able to, a reporter call them, okay, I'm having trouble with this. Okay, well, there's Paul to the rescue.
Standing at my spot at the printer and then just throwing random 30 Rock quotes out because he was like the only one that got it. Every once in a while Violet would get it, but for the most part, and then he'd give me one of these.
It was every morning around 11 o'clock where Paul would walk in with his sunglasses and one backpack and sit down and drink his coffee, ready to start his show. Changing reporter names in the rundown.
I think one time he had me down as Jolene with it, rock with it.
Today mine was Eric and Morty. You're a pretty clever guy, you bulldog you.
Even helping out during game time.
Real by now, it's time for game time.
I mean, really, honestly, the first show, both of us afterwards were like, that was a train wreck, and I think we both felt equally like defeated by it. But then beyond that, we kept working, and I think we ended up with something we can be pretty proud of, and that's been a great feeling. And without him and his end of that, like, there's no way I would be able to do my end.
Funniest moment of Paul? Probably like when he thought my dress was white.
Violet, what color is this dress?
Lush pink.
Yes. Paul.
He literally just went around the newsroom picking up things that were white, saying, it's as white as this cup, it's as white as this paper. It just really got him going. I don't know why he was so upset over it. It's blush, Paul. The dress is blush.
I think I'm the only reporter that gets on his nerves.
Also, is it all padding?
Huh?
Is that all padding?
Yeah, this is all padding.
Why?
Why what?
I would say 9 out of 10, I always question his ways.
Why would you need that much padding? Much.
It was like extra B-roll.
You should hit cancel.
Why?
Because I only want 5 seconds padding.
Why?
Because that's how I time it.
I'm probably the annoying reporter.
I mean, does it affect it at all?
It affects me.
Well, the question is not really what I'm going to miss about Paul. It's what Paul is going to miss about me, because I know he really enjoys it whenever I constantly say, "What? I can't hear you."
Paul, I'm gonna miss looking over, talking to you about basketball, talking to you about how you never told me you were married, how I found out you went to Midland High. Just a lot of stuff that I thought that, us compadres should have told each other, but I won't hold it against you anymore.
When I first met Paul, I didn't realize he was there because he was so quiet, so I just kind of like went by him.
When I first met Paul, I didn't have much of an opinion other than that he was an incredibly handsome man.
His humor is dry sometimes, but it's cool. I like it.
First time I met Paul, I thought he was a douche.
He was just quiet. That's my first impression. He's just super, super quiet.
And he became more than that. He became an incredible friend and colleague.
Because of just the way he talks and how he is. But, quickly I realized he's short, got a great sense of humor, very dry. I'm sure he likes British comedy a lot.
And so I was done transcribing and I told Paul, hey, I'm done. And he stood outside of James's office and he was just like, Julie, pause, like the longest pause, and he was like, "Would you like to front this package?" And I was like, "Are you serious?" And he was like, "Mm-hmm."
One of the memories was when Paul told us that he watched recorded rodeos as a kid instead of like most other programming that people knew about. That definitely was a very Paul-esque thing to say.
But why else will News West 9 miss him so much? Many say it's because of how helpful he is.
Paul was the most helpful, knowledgeable person that has ever worked in the newsroom. I don't recall not once hearing him complain.
You are the most altruistic person I know at work. Like, you could be on deadline and you would still put aside what you're working on to help somebody else who needs it.
Because every time I had to produce Telemundo, which that's not my job, but I would help out. Sometimes I would get stuck and I will turn around and ask Paul for help. And he will just stop completely what he was doing to come out and rescue me with my Telemundo show.
It was that one time I asked him to do my job and he did it.
Others say it's because he's wise.
I don't know, he does keep the newsroom pretty chill. And, like, he always has his words of wisdom.
He'll come up with something that is very like intellectual sounding, but at the same time it's funny. So you just kind of sit there and you're like, I like that. I like that.
He has this ball of wisdom in his head and like he's just a young wise man.
Having conversations and always like hearing Paul with his like words of wisdom. It's like the wise words of Paul.
Usually he's like the go-to person where I ask about anything throughout the day. I'm like, "Hey, Paul," and I turn around and ask him a question.
He was kind of like the go-to for everything. So who's going to be the go-to? There isn't who's going to step up and be the go-to guy? Because Paul was the go-to guy.
He's so charming. He really is.
We're being strong.
What?
We're being strong.
One employee in particular takes so much pride knowing he has a special connection with Paul.
I'm the first and only person to ever go to Paul's residence. It was a cold November evening and Paul invited me to watch the Celtics play the Golden State Warriors.
And we also can't forget how calm he is no matter what.
I liked his determination and I liked his willingness to accept the challenge. You could always tell his wheels were turning because he made a face. His face was like...
Paul, how in the world do you manage to stay so calm whenever your live shot fails 2 seconds before you're open?
Murphy's Law.
Murphy's Law? What's that? Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Thanks, Paul.
I know he worried a lot before his live shots.
Always yelling at me to make sure my live shot is up.
Only time he freaks out is when it's almost 6 o'clock, I was the top story, and my pack wasn't attached. So at some point I started to notice that, and there's times where, Paul, I'm sorry, but it would be 5:30 and I would be done with my pack and I wouldn't attach it until 5:58 if I was the top story. Just to get his blood going a little bit, just to freak him out, but yeah, that's probably when I liked Paul the most.
But we all know it's because Paul just kicks ass.
And obviously he has that will, he has that attitude. He loves to help everybody. I mean, it's clear. He's done that every single day.
You hear that about a lot of people, they go above and beyond. Paul really does do a lot behind the scenes that a lot of people don't really, they're not aware about.
He's so good at what he does too. That's what's so nice. He's a great producer. He has a good mind for making everything work. Half the time I'm like, can I get this random live shot in the middle of nowhere? And he's like, sure, yes, that's fine. So, I'm definitely going to miss him being able to basically make it all happen.
It's going to be sad having him not around. He's a great producer, and I think what makes him a great producer is that he's a great caring person to begin with, and he cares about the shows that he does, and he cares about, his product.
I wish Paul the very best. I know he's going to be successful at anything that he does. He is wonderful to work with, and just want him to know that anytime he wants to come back, he's more than welcome. And We're gonna miss him a bunch.
And I wish him the most prosperous and eventful and exciting life.
Paul, you're a great guy. It's nice working with you. Wish you the best of luck.
I'm going to remember that we made magic literally happen every day, and that I'm really disappointed that an Emmy will not be made, and it's all because he decided to leave.
I'm upset with you, Paul, for leaving us, but I'm excited for you and your wife to go on to other stuff. I think that's pretty rad. Let these producers have the work ethic you have. Keep them in line, and I'm going to keep texting you about computer stuff and MMA stuff. So I'm going to annoy you through that way still.
We'll miss you.
I go to Lubbock, so I'll meet you at Torchy's. I'll totally eat there with you.
I will miss him, but we wish him and his wife the best on their new adventure in Lubbock.
I never told you this, Paul, but I've always had a huge crush on you.
Thanks for helping out everybody in the newsroom and everything, and just your knowledge is awesome. You're going to go on to do great things, and good luck.
I wish him success. I wish him joy. I wish that God's blessings be over him, over his family.
I'm really, really sad, but I'm happy. And I wish you and your wife the best. I know you're going to do great. And I'm really going to miss you. Thank you, Paul, for all your help. Muchas gracias.
Paul, we all wish you the best. I hope you know that we're all going to miss you so, so much, that you are a great person, that we all really appreciated having you around, and you're leaving big shoes to fill, and you know we're going to miss you so much.
We are all going to miss you here at News West 9. I am taking over your show, but just know that it probably won't be as great, so I'm sorry, but thank you so much, and I appreciate all the help.
Pablo, it's going to be different not seeing you when I come back to the 4 o'clock time slot. The short time we've worked together has been a really fun time. You do have some very unique qualities that I admire, and the newsroom's going to be different without you. And wish you all the best, and go and kick some butt back in Lubbock, and don't forget us when you get there.
Your bright personality and your social skills, I know people are just going to flock to you up there in Lubbock. But, you know, congratulations, and I hope the best for you.
I wish him and his wife the absolute best, because they deserve it so much. He's such a hard worker. Just the best. I mean, enough that I'm on camera, and I hate being on camera. That's how much you mean to us, Paul. But I do. I wish them the absolute best.
I'm happy that you're getting this opportunity to go onward and upwards, and I will miss you, my dear friend.
Paul, we are really going to miss you. You are one of a kind. We were truly lucky to have you and to work with you. Bon voyage!
And it was really, really hard to get B-roll of you this whole time.
I was sneaking getting them. I don't know if you've noticed me.
Yeah, I don't usually do this kind of stuff, but you've just been an awesome producer, and I really enjoyed working with you.
I've always said that there were people who you could teach to be producers, and there were people who were just born to be producers, and you were born to be a producer. You just had that in you, and that's rare to find. So take those talents and go find something else. And I wish you the best of luck, you and the family, and the wife, happy life, hence why you're leaving. So I just wish you the best of luck, man, and we'll miss you.
Paul, thank you so much for your time and service to the station. No question, like I said before, going to be some sizable shoes to fill, and I don't think we're going to be able to be real honest. The qualities that make you a great person and a great leader and will make you successful in your next career are evident by obviously some of the comments that other folks have said about you and your character. So while you're a pretty humble and reserved guy, know that what you do here and moving forward will take you great places. So keep on keeping on, and if we can ever help with anything, your next spot, just let us know and we'll do anything possible. Best of luck to you, okay?
And although it's hard to say goodbye, it's even harder to forget a friend.
Paul, good luck to you, my friend.